Hey, it's your girl Peek out here in Singapore, live as always, about like 1 o'clock in the morning, because your girl can't sleep. I don't know. I got some things on my mind. So, it's been a tough couple of months, and I'm out here grinding it out every day as always. But obviously, I could be better than I was before. I could do more always. There's always something else I could tweak and make better. But something always inside me will be like, you know what? We could do it tomorrow. We could do it tomorrow. It'd be all right. You could do it tomorrow. But for some reason, if you were to be in a very dire strait, if you find yourself between a rock and a hard place, something magical happens. It's almost like I have nothing left to lose. You know what? It's all or nothing now. Either I quit or I do something with my life. I got to do something. So let me tell you about a moment where I had that feeling. And it wasn't that long ago. There was a moment where I found that I was struggling to make ends meet. And not like the struggling to make ends meet like y'all talking about, you have a job and you're just trying to figure out where you can cover the bills. I'm talking about I'm pared down everything I have in my life. The only luxury I really have is Netflix. Now, lucky for me, right now, I don't have to pay major bills, In this moment, I didn't have to pay major bills at the house. But I was basically living literally from hand to mouth. As in, I had a credit card statement that ate up half of the income that I was making. And the rest of it was about 250 bucks I had to make last for the rest of the month. And I mean, baby girl and I had to eat. We needed transportation money to put on our bus cards. And that was it. I mean, we'd cut out everything else. We don't go to the movies no more. We don't, buy food from outside. I make everything. And I found a way for us all to eat, just the two of us, to eat with no problems for about 250 bucks a month. And then something happened. During that period of time, my mom came to visit. And it was great. I was so happy to have her around. But you know what? Suddenly I was like, okay, how can I make the food last better? How can I make sure that everything is working out better? How can I make sure that all of us are filled and satisfied and healthy for a whole month if I only have 250 bucks? So I made some changes. I had to change the way I thought. I had to figure out what I had inside my brain that I could magically turn into money without too much effort. And the first thing that came to mind was actually cooking. If you notice, if you've been following me for a minute, you know that I have been cooking forever. I love cooking. I love feeding people. It's something I've always loved doing. And I'm known for my cooking. I feel pretty good about that. I'm not a trained chef. I'm a home chef. I taught myself. Watched a lot of, Food Network cooking channel, lots of Paula Deen and oh goodness, who are all these people? The Pioneer Woman, all these people that, cook really well and they taught themselves. Don't forget Paula Deen started off feeding people by just making lunches. And look at where she is now. So I decided, you know what? We were doing meal prep for fun. And it was because a couple of friends of mine thought, wow, she's amazing. How does she manage to buy enough groceries on like 15 bucks or 20 bucks and stuff like that? Because I used to post it, right? I was trying to get NTUC's fair prices attention. And I used to post what I got, the haul I got, and for how much. And people were like, yo, how do you do that? How is that even possible? The groceries at my grocery store are still NTUC, but I don't see that stuff. So I decided to take them up on the offer and I decided let's do meal prep for a week and see how it goes. So you can see where I go shopping, how I go shopping, how I keep track of the money. And to be honest, we bought and prepped food. I think the total was it was 3 different households, all right? So it was about 6 people total that we prepped for. 7 meals a week, 3 meals a day, and we spent just over 100 bucks. All told, just over 100 bucks. Maybe I think it was max was 120 bucks. But when I posted all of that and let people know that, hey, this is really cool and this is what I'm doing, this is the amount of food that we got together or whatever, I had another person reach out to me and was like, yo, I could really use the help. It would be really cool. If you're going to do meal prep for other people anyway, why don't you include me? That would be really cool. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And I wasn't looking for it at the time, but it fell into my lap. And the good news is, I got to a point where I bought the groceries, I prepped all the food, and he takes it home in 3 big foil containers, and then he portions it out for himself for the rest of the week, right? And guess what? I suddenly had another stream of income, and that helped a lot. It helped a lot. But that isn't to say that I wasn't still with my back against the wall sometimes. I remember there was a moment where it was like we had to go a week without serving him because he happened to be overseas. Okay? And something happened where the gas ran out, and I literally had $45 to my name. Now the gas cylinder is about 30. And I still have to prep for him for the next week, right? It's over a weekend. I literally found out that I didn't have gas at like, I don't know, I think it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, shit, oh my gosh. I really thought I had made it through the week without spending that much money so that I could use the money I had to prep for the food, that he would need to pick up, and then he can pay me when he picks it up. Yeah, well, that's not going to happen this time because I need gas to cook with. And I was freaking out. And usually I don't use that much gas to cook anything. My gas cylinder, back before the meal prep, back before my mom had come over, when it was just the two of us, my daughter and I, that cylinder, I could make it last for 5 months. I remember that night when I was thinking, yo, it's 11 o'clock, what do I do now? I have another day to go, to cook for our family and everything before I need to start prepping for this guy, and where am I going to go for this right now? And the first thing out of my mouth was, what the hell? My gas cylinder usually lasts 5 months. This one didn't even last 2. Why? Because I increased the amount of food I was cooking. I was cooking for 3 people at home, and then I was cooking for one guy at a time, for 7 full days, 3 full meals. Meal prep took up a lot of gas. And I was freaking out. Because to y'all, $35 is nothing. To me, it's everything. Because let's face it, if I have to give $35 for the gas can, that leaves me about $15 left to my name. Credit card maxed out. Which means the next time I get money, still more than half has to go to that credit card because I got to pay that sucker down. And it was in that moment that I realized, you know what? I'm tired of asking for little bits of money here and there. I feel bad asking for people for money. People don't understand. I have a lot of people that will call me out of the blue because they're upset and they need help, and I have no problem helping them. But it's because I give so much for free that people don't think about the fact that they should be paying me, or they could be paying me, or that this is actually my livelihood. And you know what? It's also because I don't treat it like it's my livelihood. It really is. So something happens when you get down to rock bottom. Something happens when you find yourself up against between a rock and a hard place, right? That's the quote, between a rock and a hard place. You suddenly get aggressive. It's the same thing that happens when wounded animals feel like they're backed into a corner. You know what? I got nothing left to live. If I lose my life, well, so be it. I'm going to go out swinging. You become aggressive. And it's not to say that, you're going to go out and kill people. No, that's not it. You become aggressive if you're a business owner. You have nothing left to lose. You're going to go out and start asking people. Whereas before, when you could make it and it would be okay and you just wait for the next paycheck or whatever, you're not going to be as aggressive. Why? Because you're still going to get money in a couple of weeks. You'll be all right. You'll make do. You won't go out as much. I know we won't use the AC that much. And maybe we won't eat such extravagant meals. We can make sandwiches. We'll be all right. But that's not how that works. That's how you skate. That's how you kind of coast. That's still a comfort zone. And it occurred to me in that time frame that, you know what, I'm over here scared to ask people to pay me $100 per call for an hour's worth of information. And I'm over here starving to death, literally. At that point, what was the difference between asking for one client who would pay me $100 per session and asking for 3 clients who would pay me $5,000 a month, which means I could possibly make $15,000 a month? What was the difference? $100 might as well have been $15,000 at that point. Suddenly, I wasn't worried about whether I was worthy. I wasn't worried about whether I had the paper to back up everything that I was saying. I wasn't worried about whether, I was polished enough, if I appeared professional enough, and my videos were clear cut and concise. I didn't care if there was editing or no editing. I didn't care anymore. They're not lying when they say something magical happens when you have empty pockets and empty stomach. Pain, real pain that you have to face. You push through, you find a way to push through. I was talking to someone today, actually, and they were saying, you know what, I had a really fabulous coach, and I've had her for over 6 months, and I was working with her one-to-one. And I realized that she gave me tons of information. And until it settled into my brain and into my DNA, what she was actually telling me, I was just going through the motions, which means that all the messaging that I put out there was kind of empty and meaningless because I was just going through the motions. I didn't understand what she was teaching me. And it was going to take me about 6 months for me to finally get it. It's like that. If you think about it, all the world's problems, every solution you could possibly think of, that's been written by. Somebody's written a book on it. Somebody, anybody, maybe a couple people have written a book on it. Sure, you can sit down and read the book, and yeah, by the end of the book, you feel replenished and you feel like full of vigor and excitement, and yeah, you know what the answer is. Well, guess what? It won't be too long before life kind of knocks you on your ass, and you forget all that shit that you just read, and you panic and you fall into the same pattern over and over again. Real change takes time. Real change is you beating your head up against the wall for a little while until you realize, oh shit, that's where the pain is coming from. I probably should choose something else to hit my head up against. Or maybe I should stop hitting my head at all. Be aggressive. I have been working on my business for 2 solid years now. And no, I haven't been working on it like I am right now. I've been dabbling. And that's okay, because I needed that space too. I needed to get to that level too, right? I needed to start somewhere. But now it's urgent. Now it's serious. It's not enough just to do a podcast every day. It's not enough just to post on social media every day. I need to be visible on all platforms where my clients might find me, might need me, so that they know I am available. I was over here getting caught up with the fact that, I'll put out a video and I'll mention some things, and the first thing I hear is people are trying to figure out who I'm talking about. Well, damn, good job. You went straight to the gossip section of all that. You're not getting the message. Your life could be better. You could feel happier. You could get more joy out of the things you do on a daily basis. You can mend your relationships. You can get back in touch with people that you want to get back in touch with, but you're not sure how to approach it because, somewhere along the line, your communication, your wires got crossed. You don't talk to each other no more. You can fix all that. I'm living proof. But sometimes you don't do any of those things until you have no choices left. You get aggressive. I'm not going to lie, when I found out my dad might be moving here, I was like, dang, I don't really talk to this man very well, and when we don't get along all that well, and it upsets my mom really badly, and you know what? I need to just sit down and talk to him and get it over with. And we did, and it was a tough conversation, and it took me a couple of days to recover, but you know what? I did what I came to do, and it's done. It's good now. We're good. It's not perfect. It's not the ideal daughter-father relationship, but it's better than it was. And it's a work in progress. It'll get better little by little. My mom seems happier. That's a good thing, right? There's less tension in the house. That's a good thing, right? But I waited until I had no choices left. I could have done this years ago. You hear what I'm saying? You get what I mean? Sometimes you're going to wait till the last minute because suddenly you only have the last minute. Now, in that moment, that story I was telling you about, my own life, where I was freaking out and I didn't have money in my hands and I didn't have a gas cylinder to cook with and I was running out of options on how to make money. You know what? It came down to one decision. Do I quit all this and go find a job? And even if I did quit all this on a Saturday night and try to go find a job, chances are I would still take a couple months before I get a job, which means, you know what? Sunday, I'm still going to be stuck without gas and without extra money. And Monday, I'm still going to be stuck. Maybe with gas, but with no extra money. And Tuesday, I'm still would have been stuck with gas, but no extra money. That's when I realized all the money I will ever have in my life exists in my brain first. And if I really wanted to, I could go out there today for free and take 30 pictures. You know, people who talk about, oh yeah, let me do a 30-day challenge. I'm going to take a picture a day. Yes, and it's so much effort, but I'm going to do a picture a day. Damn it, I could go out there right now and take that same 30-day prompt and take 30 pictures today for free. Because look, we have digital cameras. All it costs is a couple batteries to keep your damn camera rolling. You don't have to have film no more. You don't have to develop the film anymore. You got a computer, you got a camera, you're good to go. You don't have a camera, you got a phone, you can still keep it rolling. All these people out here talking about, I'm going to be a makeup artist and I'm going to do all this stuff. It's going to be awesome. Well, guess what? No one knows you're a makeup artist until you post about makeup all the time. Are you open for business? Do you really want clients? And let's talk about fitness, shall we? Nobody knows you're into fitness unless you post things about fitness. Unless you go out and show videos on, the circuits that you do. You got to show people what you're into. So people are like, oh man, okay, he's really good at this. Put yourself out there first, just showing the fact that you like doing this is what I do because I love it. And then when the time comes, tell them, hey, I'm open for business. I guarantee you, the people you already know will be like, yo, do you do private sessions? Like, do you do group classes? Do you teach kids? Like, can we get on board? Word of mouth. The power of video. Damn it, you have social media. Stop playing on Tinder and go meet people. In person, speak to them about their dreams and see how they connect to your dreams. And who knows, maybe you'll have a network one day. That's all I do all day long. I speak to people. I get to know who they are. In that moment when I was struggling to figure out what I was going to do next, I realized I was a homeschool mom. I have an art background, which I taught myself as well. I am a quick study. All it takes is a little bit of YouTube. I can sew clothes. I haven't done it in years, but I need to pull my I have a sewing machine, y'all. My daughter's birthday dress, we bought the dress a year ago, and it was, to be honest, at the time when we bought the dress, she was a size 6. We bought a size 12 by accident, only because she liked the material and the way the dress was built. When she got the dress this year, because it sat in a drawer for an entire year, I stitched it so it looks like a, what's it called? It looks like it has a train on it now. It fits her well. It doesn't hang off of her or anything, but it looks like it has a train on it. It's beautiful. But I hand stitched that. And it didn't take me but 20 minutes once I knew how I wanted to fix it. And this is what I'm getting at. Yes, I can sell services, but you have to trust me with your personal, innermost feelings and worries and bad habits and all. You got to be honest with me. And that takes some time. But guess what? I can sell a product tomorrow. If I put a post tonight and say, hey, I'm selling honey butter, I know people are going to ask me, hey, well, how much does it cost? Because I don't need gas to make honey butter. I have the oven. The oven still works. But the majority of Indian cooking, I need the gas stove. but there's still stuff I can do. I could break down and be like, oh my God, I don't have gas, I don't have money. But I will not be defeated that easily. Try again. Necessity is the mother of invention. You will find a way through it if you want it bad enough. There was a time where I wasn't sure if I could afford the next month of coaching. Now, coaching is only $150 in the US, but in Singapore dollars, it's about 200 and some change. I don't know how I was going to get the damn money, but I do know that I have 5 more t-shirts left that run about $25 a piece. And if I could just reach out to a couple uncles, because unfortunately they're all large sizes, I could ask those people, hey, I still have another t-shirt left. I know you've seen it around. Would you like one? And what's the worst people could say? No. But if I ask enough people, chances are I might be able to get those 5 sales and close it up. Necessity is the mother of invention. And you know what? When your back's against the wall, you finally become aggressive for your business. Don't let these little piddly ass problems stop you. Don't turn it all into an excuse. Then what did you do all this work for in the first place anyway? Be aggressive. Stay aggressive. Don't be rude, but be aggressive. Don't be shy. I've been shy for way too long. I've helped thousands of people. Something I'd forgotten. I've helped so many businesses get their businesses off the ground. I've given them marketing strategies. I set up an international school, and it is thriving right now. And I didn't think it'd make it past day 1. But I set it up in such a way that it's working well. I'm no longer involved in the project, but it's doing good. I've helped tuition companies. I've helped companies that provide science tours and created curriculum for 4, 5, and 6-year-olds for drama and science. I wrote the curriculums. I'd never done it before, but I did it for the first time in my life. I marketed wine when I didn't like wine. No, I'm not Gary Vee level wine connoisseur. I don't know the first thing about wines, but I marketed wine. I planned wine tastings and wine dinners, and I planned a champagne launch before I was ready. I started a record label in 2014 in London with people I didn't know. I signed an artist, I signed a producer, I wrote up the contracts, I made sure everyone was good. And then it just so happened that the artist wasn't all that great, and the producer was, well, shit with his word, and it kind of fell through, but that's okay. I still made a lot of contacts. I've helped people with their rap careers. I've helped people with their singing careers. I've helped a lot of people. But the reason I help those people is because I come at it from an emotional level. I help them through their fears, their self-confidence. All of that, my love, is emotional intelligence. So yeah, I'm not worried about me. And no, I'm not asking for $100 or thousands of dollars, but I'm not afraid to ask anymore. You know you need me. You know you need someone to help you figure out what's real and what's not, what you should be concerned with and what is not your business at all, what you can and you cannot control. You need me. And that's not being boastful, because I need me. My daughter needs me. My mom, my brothers, they need me. So I hope you understand what I'm saying here. Don't wait till your back's against the wall to suddenly do what you gotta do. If you need a little extra push, you need someone in your corner for a little bit, call me. I'm not trying to be your best friend for the rest of your life. I don't want you to need me forever. I want to teach you so you can teach other people. Pass it forward. You hear me? All right, I'm out.